topic osteoporosis and metabolic bone disease in the endocrinology module. By the end of this topic, you should be able to define osteoporosis and metabolic bone disease or MBD, explain the pathophysiology of these two conditions, outline the causes and describe the clinical manifestations of osteoporosis and metabolic bone disease, outline the investigations done for osteoporosis and metabolic bone disease, discuss the principles of management, and discuss the complications of osteoporosis and metabolic bone disease. Let's get started. Osteoporosis is defined as a reduction in the strength of bone that leads to an increased risk of fractures. Loss of bone tissue is associated with deterioration in skeletal microarchitecture. The World Health Organization, or WHO, operationally defines osteoporosis as a bone density that falls 2.5 standard deviations below the mean for young healthy adults of the same sex, also referred to as T-score of minus 2.5. Metabolic bone disease or MBD refers to a large spectrum of bone disorders usually caused by mineral abnormalities such as calcium, phosphorus, magnesium, or vitamin D. In this topic, we're going to discuss about osteomalacia and rickets. And these conditions are characterized by defective mineralization of the bone due to vitamin D deficiency, resistance to the effects of vitamin D, or hypophosphatemia. Osteomalacia describes a syndrome in adults of defective bone mineralization, bone pain, increased bone fragility, and fractures. Rickets is the equivalent syndrome in children and is characterized by enlargement of the growth plate and bone deformity. The cycle of bone remodeling is carried out by the basic multicellular unit, which consists of a group of osteoclasts and osteoblasts. In the cortical bone, the basic multicellular units tunnel through the tissue, whereas in cancellous bone, they move across the trabecular surface. The process of bone remodeling is initiated by contraction of the lining cells and the recruitment of osteoblast precursors. These precursors fuse to form multinucleated active osteoclasts that mediate bone resorption. Osteoclasts adhere to bone and subsequently remove it by acidification and proteolytic digestion. As the basic multicellular unit advances, osteoclasts leave the resorption site and osteoblasts move in to cover the excavated area and begin the process of new bone formation by secreting osteoids, which eventually is mineralized into new bone. After osteomineralization, osteoblasts flatten and form a layer of lining cells over the new bone. Osteoporosis can occur because of a defect in attaining peak bone mass and or because of accelerated bone loss. In normal individuals, bone mass increases during skeletal growth to reach a peak between the ages 20 and 40 years, but falls thereafter. In women, there is an accelerated phase of bone loss after the menopause due to estrogen deficiency, which causes uncoupling of bone resorption and bone formation, such that the amount of bone removed by osteoclasts exceeds the rate of new bone formation by osteoblasts. Age-related bone loss is a distinct process that accounts for the gradual bone loss that occurs with advancing age in both genders. Bone resorption is not particularly increased, but bone formation is reduced and fails to keep pace with bone resorption. Accumulation of fat in the bone marrow space also occurs because of an age-related decline in the ability of bone marrow stem cells to differentiate into osteoblasts and an increase in their ability to differentiate into adipocytes. The primary source of vitamin D in humans is photoactivation in the skin of 7-dehydrocholesterol to cholecalciferol, which is then converted first in the liver to 25-hydroxy vitamin D and subsequently in the kidneys by the enzyme 1-alpha hydroxylase to 1,2,5-hydroxy 2D. Regulation of the later step is by parathyroid hormone, and the phosphate and feedback inhibition is by the activated vitamin D. The most common cause is lack of sunlight exposure, since maintenance of normal levels of vitamin D depends on UV sunlight exposure to catalyze synthesis of cholecalciferol from 7-dehydrocholesterol in the skin. Dietary deficiency can also play a role, but vitamin D occurs in only small quantities in most foods except oily fish, so the amount present in average diets is insufficient to meet the requirements. Lack of cholecalciferol results in reduced hepatic production of vitamin D and thus reduced renal production of the biologically active metabolite. The lack of activated vitamin D impairs intestinal calcium absorption and lowers serum calcium, which stimulates parathyroid hormone secretion. And this causes phosphate wasting and increased bone resorption in an attempt to maintain serum calcium levels within the normal range, causing progressive demineralization of the bone. Causes of osteoporosis include estrogen deficiency, endocrine diseases such as hypogonadism, hyperthyroidism, hyperparathyroidism, Cushing's syndrome, inflammatory diseases like inflammatory bowel disease, ankylosing spondylitis, and rheumatoid arthritis, drugs such as corticosteroids, gonadotrophin-releasing hormone agonists, aromatase inhibitors, thyroxine over-replacement, thiazolidinediones, sedatives, anticonvulsants, alcohol excess, and heparin, as well as gastrointestinal diseases such as malabsorption and chronic liver disease. Now let's discuss the clinical manifestations of osteoporosis. Fracture is the only cause of symptoms in osteoporosis. Sudden onset of severe pain in the spine, often radiating around to the front, suggests vertebral crush fracture. However, only about 1 in 3 vertebral fractures is symptomatic. Pain usually occurs from mechanical derangement, increasing kyphosis, height loss, and abdominal protuberance following crushed vertebrae. Colles fracture typically follow a fall on an outstretched arm. Fractures of the proximal femur usually occur in older individuals, causing them to fall on their side of the back. And other causes of low trauma must not be overlooked, including metastatic disease and myeloma. Clinical manifestations of vitamin D deficiency could be different depending on the age of onset. Vitamin D deficiency in children or rickets causes delayed development, muscle hypotonia, craniotabes, which is small unossified areas in membranous bones of the skull that yield to finger pressure with a cracking feeling, bossing of the frontal and parietal bones, and delayed anterior fontanelle closure, enlargement of epiphyses at the lower end of the radius, and swelling of the rib costochondral junctions, which is known as rickety rosary. Osteomalacia in adults present insidiously. Mild osteomalacia can be asymptomatic or present with fractures and mimic osteoporosis. Most severe osteomalacia presents with muscle and bone pain, general malaise, and fragility fractures. Proximal muscle weakness is prominent, and the patient may walk with a waddling gait and struggle to climb stairs or get out of the chair. There may be bone and muscle tenderness on pressure, and focal bone pain can occur due to fissure fractures of the ribs and the pelvis. Dual energy X-ray absorptiometry, or DEXA, measures areal bone density, which is the mineral per surface area rather than the true volumetric density, usually of the lumbar spine and proximal femur. It is precise, accurate, uses low doses of radiation, and is the gold standard in osteoporosis diagnosis. The T-score is a measure of how many standard deviations of the patient's BMD value differs from that of a young healthy control, whereas BMD Z-score is a measure of how many standard deviations of BMD deviates from age-matched controls. Osteoporosis is diagnosed when T-score values fall below minus 2.5 or below, whereas osteopenia is diagnosed when T-score lies between minus 1.5 to minus 2.5. So among the investigations that we can do to diagnose metabolic bone disease and osteoporosis would be serum calcium levels, which will be high in hyperparathyroidism or malignancy and low in malnutrition and osteomalacia. Serum parathyroid hormone, in the presence of hypercalcemia, it will be high in hyperparathyroidism, low in malignancy, and high in parathyroid-related peptide levels, and this is seen in the presence of humoral hypercalcemia of malignancy. Thyroid-stimulating hormone can be high or low. This depends whether it's primary or secondary hyperthyroidism. A full blood count can show anemia, and this can reflect malabsorption, hence presence of macrocytic anemia due to vitamin B12 deficiency or folate deficiency, and microcytic anemia is seen in iron deficiency. Tests for multiple myeloma may masquerade as generalized osteoporosis, include plain radiography, which you would see punched out lesions, serum and urine electrophoresis to look for light chains. Urine calcium is low in osteomalacia, malnutrition or malabsorption, and high in hypercalciuria and must be investigated further. Urinary free cortisol and overnight dexamethasone test is done for Cushing's syndrome, and tests for multiple myeloma include plain radiograph, serum and urine electrophoresis as mentioned earlier. Now, the test for multiple myeloma specifically would be the punched out lesions seen in the radiograph and the light chains which are seen on serum and urine electrophoresis. In terms of management, the aim of treatment of osteoporosis is to reduce the risk of fracture, and this can be achieved by a combination of non-pharmacological and pharmacological approaches. For osteomalacia and rickets, they respond promptly to treatment with vitamin D replacement, which is ergocalciferol 250 to 1000 micrograms daily, showing rapid clinical improvement and an elevation in vitamin D and reduction in parathyroid hormones. Medical therapy of osteoporosis include bisphosphonates, strontium granulate, denosumab, raloxifene, recombinant human PTH, and hormone replacement therapy. Bisphosphonates, synthetic analogs or bone pyrophosphate, adhere to hydroxyapatite and inhibit osteoclast. Alendronate and risedronate are given most commonly once weekly doses, and zoledronate is given as a once yearly infusion of 5 milligrams. Bisphosphonates are generally well tolerated but may be associated with upper gastrointestinal side effects such as esophagitis, particularly if the dosing instructions are not closely followed. Bisphosphonates should be used with caution in patients who have chronic kidney disease, and osteonecrosis of the jaw is rarely seen. Strontium granulate consists of two stable strontium atoms linked to an organic acid called ranelic acid. Its mechanism of action remains uncertain, although it has weak anti-resorptive activity whilst maintaining bone formation. Nausea and diarrhea and headaches are infrequent side effects, and there is a small increase in the risk of venous thromboembolism. Denosumab is a fully human monoclonal antibody to RNKL, and it is administered as a single subcutaneous injection every 6 months. Denosumab is an anti-resorptive agent which increases bone mineral density and reduces fractures at the spine, hip, and other non-vertebral sites. Next would be raloxifene, which is given 60 milligrams daily. This is a selective estrogen receptor modulator. It has no stimulatory effect on the endometrium, but it activates estrogen receptors in the bone. It prevents bone mineral density losses at the spine and hip in postmenopausal women, though fracture rates were also reduced in the spine. Leg cramps and flushing may occur, and the risk of thromboembolic complications is also increased in a degree similar to that seen with hormone replacement therapy. Its use is associated with a small increase in the risk of stroke. Recombinant parathyroid hormone peptide therapy is mainly indicated in severe cases of vertebral osteoporosis or in women who fail to respond to other therapies. Hormone replacement therapy, due to its adverse effects on breast cancer and cardiovascular risk factors, it's a second-line option for osteoporosis, except in early postmenopausal women who is at high risk of fracture, who also have perimenopausal symptoms. Kyphoplasty and vertebroplasty are also useful surgical approaches for the treatment of painful vertebral fractures secondary to osteoporosis. Advice on lifestyle factors such as smoking cessation, moderation of alcohol intake, dietary calcium intake, and exercise should be given. Daily intakes of 800 to 1000 milligrams of calcium and 400 to 800 international unit of vitamin D are recommended throughout life. Hip protectors can reduce the risk of hip fractures in selected patients, but compliance is often poor. Weight-bearing exercise for 30 minutes 3 times a week may increase bone mineral density, while gentle exercise in the elderly may reduce the risk of falls and improve the protective responses to falling. Smoking is associated with lower BMD and increased fracture risks, and smoking cessation should be advised. Excess alcohol, which is the use of more than 3 units per day, should be avoided. The complications of osteoporosis and metabolic bone disease include fractures and spine deformities such as hyperkyphosis. And in summary, osteoporosis is defined as a reduction in the strength of the bone that leads to an increased risk of fractures. Metabolic bone disease, or MBD, refers to a large spectrum of bone disorders usually caused by mineral abnormalities. Osteoporosis can occur because of a defect in attaining peak bone mass and/or because of accelerated bone loss. Causes of osteoporosis include estrogen deficiency, endocrine diseases, inflammatory diseases, drugs, gastrointestinal diseases, etc. Osteomalacia and rickets, on the other hand, are due to vitamin D deficiency. Osteoporosis is usually asymptomatic, however, it is always associated with fractures. A dual energy X-ray absorptiometry, or DEXA, usually done at lumbar spine and proximal femur, is a gold standard to diagnose osteoporosis. Other tests are useful for identifying secondary causes. Aim of treatment is to reduce the risk of fracture, and this can be achieved by combination of non-pharmacological and pharmacological approaches. Common medical therapy of osteoporosis include bisphosphonate, strontium ranelate, denosumab, raloxifene, recombinant human parathyroid hormone, and hormone replacement therapy. We have come to the end of this topic. Thank you.